Well, we're here for an edition of Checking In with Senior Captain Maria Weselyj of the women's basketball team. Maria, thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we've got a bunch of things we're going to cover, some exploits here both on and off the court from both before your time at Southern and also over the course of your time here as an Owl. Let's look back first and foremost. For those of you who don't know Maria, one of the big things that she was known for prior to arriving at Southern is the game-winning shot to win the state championship in her senior year of high school, which ended up going viral, became national news all over YouTube. And let's start off with that shot. Again, it's almost 4 years ago at this point, but what do you remember about the sequence? Just take us through that series of events for starters.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's crazy that it's almost been 4 years. But it was against Orton Hall. They were number 2 that year going into the championship game. We were number 1. So we knew they were going to be a well-disciplined team with a very good coach. And on top of that, it was neck and neck throughout the whole game. And with 16 seconds left, Orton Hall, Michelle DeSantis scored the layup. It was a go-ahead layup, so the buzzer sounded. But I had no idea that our coach called a timeout as soon as the ball went through the hoop. So I'm looking around and I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, this is the 4th time we lost the championship game. I see my teammates just demoralized, devastated, and I'm like, not again. This cannot happen for the 4th time in my high school career because we went to 3 championships prior. And we hustle into the timeout. Our coach is just like trying to keep us composed. He's like, listen, this is the play we're going to run, and it's called home run. And we ran this play like at the end of each practice that entire season. And it's a 1 in 100 chance for it to work. And prior to him saying home run, we were actually already drawing up a different play. But according to my teammate Jordan Nappy at the time, she was like, Coach, it's not going to work. They're not going to press us up that far. So that's when he said, all right, let's do home run. Jordan, Maria, you guys are going to be on the wings. Cassie, you're going to catch the ball, which was our center at the time, and you're just going to give it to one of those two, but hopefully Maria, because she can shoot the 3 in that situation. So we're like, okay, great. So we have my point guard taking the ball out, and she throws a 3/4 court pass to our center, who catches it with 4 people around her, goes but with her momentum, passes me the ball, and I just shoot the 3. And it's like so funny because it was such a dead silence for like that split moment, and then as soon as the ball went through, everyone just like coming towards me and just tackling me, and I really like remember getting up from that dog pile and being like, did it count, because like I'm thinking in my head, if this ball is going to me in the timeout, I was thinking I have to shoot it, like I just want to end it. I didn't want to go to overtime, because if I scored a 2, it would be overtime. I'm just going to end it scoring 3 if it goes to me. And it's so funny because everybody talks to this day and is like, oh, that play was perfect. Oh, my gosh, everything went well. Everything went wrong. Like, the passer was our point guard, who never passed the ball in practice for that play because the person that was supposed to pass it fouled out with 2 minutes left in the game. So now we're really putting our point guard in a position to be like, holy cow, you have to make this 3/4 pass. And on top of it, even when the ball was being passed to our point guard out of bounds from the referee, we already had our post players screening for each other. So now me and Jordan, all we have to do is just count our steps and run to the sideline to hopefully still get a pass from our post player. And it's the fact that it was executable. You know, we executed the play with everything broken down. And it's a credit to our coach, our coaching staff, to have confidence in doing it. But it's also a credit to my teammates for just letting everything kind of go the way it's supposed to go. And I can't describe the feeling because it went from the lowest of the low to the highest of the high in such a split second. It was very dramatic.
Were you surprised with the amount of attention that it got afterwards?
Yes, absolutely. I just didn't think like a small school from, Middletown, Connecticut was even going to remotely be close to being in the newspapers in Europe. ESPN was in the top 10. I wake up the next morning and I'm like, did this really happen? And even the reporters that night were like, oh, did you know it was going in? And I said, absolutely. And it wasn't to be arrogant, but it was confident. Like, it was a confident response because we as shooters, we shoot. But at the same time, it was like, I knew it came from the grace of God. And I could have easily not made that connection. I could have been like, you know what? Yeah, we're a really good team. We were number 1 in the state. We did yada, yada, yada to get there. But, I mean, God was there with me and with our team the whole way. and we are a Catholic school, but I wear the bracelet, you know, my game is his glory. Everything I do is for him. So I just think it was his way of just saying, be prideful. You've been practicing humility for so long, nothing ever came easy to you. This is a gift and a reward for you guys to finally understand that you guys deserved it.
It has now expanded the shot. Recently, Brad Paisley used it in his video today. I don't know if for those of you that may or may not be aware, I believe it's the 2 minute and 46-second mark if you want to take a look.
Yeah.
But how did you find out that you were now part of country music stardom? Just walk us through that experience.
Yeah, sure. Another thing, by the grace of God, I was in the library studying for one of my exams coming up that following week, and all of a sudden my phone just blows up with former teammates, some of my friends from home. They're like, check out this video, you guys are in this video, and I'm like, Brad Paisley, I'm a country fan. I'm like, why would a country singer want this video in his music video? So I checked it out, and I watched the entire video. I didn't just go to the specific spot that they told me to watch. Watched the whole thing, and I was like, holy cow. Like, out of all the videos ever, he chose that one specific. And it's high school, too, because it's rawness of sports. And he chose that one, and I think that's where I knew it was going to be forever known. That moment, my senior year, was going to be forever in the books, and that's how I found out.
Since then, you've had an opportunity to meet Brad Paisley. I would venture to guess that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
Can
absolutely.
you share how that experience came about and what was it like to meet him?
Yeah, definitely starstruck. It was my first country singer I ever met, first celebrity I ever met. So the way that happened was I told my mom about the video that night it was aired. Didn't even tell my dad. The next day I'm working in the human performance lab downstairs, and my dad's trying to call me, and I'm working, and I call him after, and he's like, listen, did you have any idea I'm working the Brad Paisley concert today? And I'm like, what do you mean? And my father, he works for the union, he works at Excel Center, Gamble, or anytime that there's a concert in Connecticut, he's like a stagehand. He sets everything up. So I said, no, you're kidding, you're lying, it's not Brad Paisley. And he's like, yeah, I'm talking to his father right now, Doug Paisley, and he wants you and your mom to come down to see the concert, but have you also meet Brad Paisley so he can get the backstory of everything. And so that's how I pretty much set everything up. I had to go somewhere else that night. I had to go to Boston to direct a basketball camp. But I just said, you know what, I'll go in the morning, Saturday morning. I can't miss this moment because it's huge. And I felt like it was my duty to go and meet him, but share our story. And I wanted my senior teammates to be there too. I'm always the last person that I really want to be in that limelight. But yeah, so we went inside his tour bus 30 minutes prior to his concert, and he wanted to hear the backstory. And he wanted to hear other people's backstories from the videos he used as well. So we kind of talked about our faith, we talked about why he made the music video in the first place, and just how everything happened for us that night.
The shot is a big part of who you are as a basketball player, certainly before your time here. But listen, you've been a major contributor here on the court over the last few years. You've achieved a bunch of academic accolades as well to go along with it. Last year you led the conference in three-point field goal percentage. How have the first 3 years here at Southern gone for you as a student athlete, both on and off the court?
They've been really, really good to me in a lot of ways. Through highs and lows, I had 3 coaches in 3 years, but within that time, I learned a lot. I grew and I matured in the game. As a basketball player, you have to adapt to anything that comes your way. You have to be able to bounce back from adverse situations. But being on a team right now with 2 coaches that just embody what it takes to win a championship, and to play for them, but along with my teammates that are so close, that really helps too. Through all that stuff of going through different coaching changes, I felt still comfortable with my teammates that they trusted me to get the job done, whether it was to shoot a 3 when we needed it the most, or to just be a leader and distribute the ball, or anything else of that matter, to just lead by example. And because we have such close chemistry, no matter if we won or lost in the past couple of years, or even heading towards this season right now, it's fun. It's a great experience to come in and want to practice and want to be with your best friends and want to be led by the coaches that you have and it's a really huge credit to the entire athletic department to even get the coaches that we have right now to help us move forward this season.
Last question for you, Maria, as we, again, look ahead at this season. The opener, the regular season opener is a week from Saturday. As one of the captains this year of the team, with the fact that this team won 19 games last year and has such a big group coming back from that team, what are the team goals and expectations this year, and what are you hoping to accomplish individually as well?
Sure. So our team goals is definitely win a national championship. That's number one. That's always in the back of my mind. Even coach put on a paper that said 368 days until Dallas, where the Final Four will be held this year for 2017. And our next goal is to host the conference tournament. We haven't done that in a while. We're looking to bring it back, and we're going to be a very tough contender for a lot of the conference teams in our conference. And individually, just keep upholding my 3-point type of percentage, but I'm not really hung up on that. This year I'm more goal-oriented with our team, just making sure that our chemistry's there. I'm being able to connect with my teammates on and off the floor and let our skills kind of do the rest. We've done all the work, we just have to perform, and that's it. So yeah, just have a really good season this year, 20+ win games, and win a national championship.
All right, thanks, Maria, and thanks for sharing your experiences with us. Thank you for tuning in. Maria, we'll talk to you, I'm sure, many times here during the season, but thanks again for tuning in. Have a great day, everyone.